Thank you, Joe, for the introduction. And my name is Cal Everett. I'm the CEO of Liberty Gold Corp. And we're in the process of continuing to discover new ounces and developing the past producing sedimentary hosted oxide gold deposit that's Carlin style in southern Idaho. We also own 100% of another Carlin type system in southwest Utah, Gold Strike. I'm not going to discuss this due to our time constraints today. And also we have assets in Turkey that we're in the process of trying to monetize. This is our standard forward-looking statement, and we encourage anybody who would like to read this, please take the time and read it, because quite often it's worth your while just to read these things and just see what's being said. These are the images of the people that are now associated with Liberty Gold. As you know, I'm now the CEO of the company, and my focus is solely onto the financial side of this company. John Gilligan, President and COO, he is focused on all the operational side, and he handles all the people in the fields and all the contractors. I don't deal with that, but I'm fully appraised of absolutely everything that goes on a daily basis. Pete Shabastari is a former geologist from Frontier Gold. He's our VPX, and Pete's job is to keep finding more ounces to hopefully extend mine life at Blackpine. This is the corporate overview. Shares outstanding, 345 million. Market cap, just over 100 million Canadian. Cash and short-term investments, US 11.6 million as of filed on November the 9th, 2023. Our shareholder base is 36% institutional. Wheaton Precious Metals owns 5.8%. Management and insiders sit at 4.8%. And then on the far right, you can see the list of all the analysts covering Liberty Gold with buy targets on the company. And just for notification purposes, I'm the single largest private shareholder of this company. I own approximately 10 million shares. I still buy, and I've paid for all of my shares, and I've never sold a share in 6 years. So 2024 is a transformation year for Blackpine. Last year, I spent the year as a director of the company, analyzing everything the company was doing. And as you know, as a Blackpine summary, it's a past-producing heap leach oxide gold mine that was operated by Pegasus in the early 90s. Our track record at Blackpine of oxide gold resource growth is really quite dynamic. And in 2023, starting from effectively nothing, we had increased the resource to 2.6 million ounces of indicated gold and 0.48 million ounces of inferred gold. And we've also put together a development pathway just to put together the permitting, targeting, advancement, extensions of this deposit. And we're just targeting a low capex and a rapid payback scenario for this company. So the catalyst in 2024, a lot of these might be a bit new to you. We are expecting to receive a modified plan of operations number 4, which would give us a 36% increase in drill target area. We hope to get that in June or July. Deliver an updated resource paired with feasibility level metallurgical studies. That would be anticipated in July or August of this year. Finish the pre-feasibility study, wrapping economics around the project, and at the same time restarting the drills on multiple new targets to just increase the amount of ounces in the deposit. And we're already in the process of submitting a plan of operations to enter the NEPA permitting timeline and demonstrate a path to production. And you know, my take on the company was, in the past, in the last year, we were trying to do an economic study. And I think we may have disenfranchised some of our retail shareholders to the point where they just wanted ounces and other people wanted to see economics. So this is a way of getting those two groups to come back together and hopefully increase the market cap by linking the two groups back together. I think that may have been a mistake, and we'll just see how successful we are. So this is a great example of when you hit grade, you really hit grade at Blackpine. And you can see this area from the back range zone in that image to the right, down to range front. That's 7 linear kilometers. And if you go northeast to southwest, that's 4 kilometers. And that's not the entire area. And where all these permitted areas are, you can see all those white areas, they still need to be drilled. So we drilled over 1,000 drill holes on this project so far since we purchased it. But when you see those high-grade intercepts of 60 meters of 3.3 gram rock, that's 60 meters of $200 rock. And it costs the same amount of money as to move a 0.1 gram ton as it costs to move a $200 ton. It all goes down to profitability. So as soon as we find a high-grade zone, we drill the hell out of it on 30 to 50 meter centers to try to get it, especially if it's near surface, to push that into the projected economics on a full feasibility study. So this is the, I guess, probably the first image that we've ever shown anybody of the plan of operations for which we've applied for. Anything in the white area surrounded by that squiggly black line is what we're permitted. So if you look at that table to the, or the chart on the left, what we started with in 2016, we drilled a few test holes in 2017. Then we got our first plan of operation, then our second, and then our third. And look at the ounce buildup on the scale bar to the right. And the expected plan of operation 4 is what we think is going to take us up closer to the 5 million ounce tier 1 status on this project, with expressing the point that none of these zones would even be drilled out by the time we got to that next level. So we're dealing with a massive target area of approximately 40 square kilometers, and it's not that much of a challenge to drill it. It's just more of a challenge to interpret what all these numbers actually mean. So this is the same map as before. There's the new plan of operation application, and this is for those geological people who like to lick rocks and try to figure out what things do in 3 dimensions. But the green rocks are the middle plate rocks, and that's where we find the highest concentrations of gold. The yellow rocks are a sandstone upper plate member, and they don't carry any gold until we go to the immediate southeast of the CDF zone and the M zone. And around rangefront, we're seeing in the overlying sandstones and proximal sandstones, you know, above cutoff grade rocks that would all be leachable to go towards a heap leach pad at one point. This also shows you 7 major new targets that have to be drilled. So as an example, the back range zones and the back range connector, that would give us the permit to link that to the main body, right? And that has everything to do with access and getting moving tonnage and the projected economics of the project. The moment you get into the brown rocks, those are basement rocks, they're hungry, there's nothing in those. So if you look at the cross section on the very bottom, A to A prime, and that's approximately 7 kilometers long, you can see how big this system is, but the gold system follows the topographic or the topography of the mountain range. And so you can see it's all accessible by open pit at this point. And where you see sandstones, we haven't drilled underneath those yet or through them to verify how many ounces are there. And every time we get up to the connector zone, we drill a few holes and we find grade. So we have to go all the way down to the back range and drill that roughly 900 meter gap. There's a kilometer between the discovery zone and the rangefront zone. And then you go down to the rangefront target where we drilled a couple holes and got good grade. The rangefront target alone is 6 square kilometers with about 2 holes in. So this is going to give you a good feeling of scale and how big of an area that we have to cover. So this is bringing black pine into production. This is purely on projected economics. This is where rock storage, heap leach facilities are. You can see where the historical heap leach pad is. We now have a permit to drill underneath of that. And yeah, which is typical from some of these older mines that they built the heap leach pad on top of the oxide gold system. And so we're finding gold underneath of the heap leach pads. You can see where the leach facilities is, primary, and the secondary facility. And that hopefully will give us enough room to stockpile 350 to 450 million tons in the first years of mining. And rock storage areas are for waste rock. And you can see the different pits as they're outlined. And the reason this property is so unique is the fact that it's been mined before. The pre-feasibility study is coming in sooner than expected. We have 100% of our processed raw water secured. There's power lines, hydropower to the mine gate, so it's clean. There's no timber values here, so you're not dealing with forest at all, because there was a forest fire here in the early 2000s, and it's just, it looks like Nevada with no trees. There's no endangered species. We've done all of our ESG work. There's no groundwater in the mineralized area, no surface water, no fish. And the water, and there's an extensive amount of water that's underneath of this basin on the Salt Lake Basin that we have access to, that we can operate the mine. And remember, when you're taking water out of these things, you're not, part of it goes to dust control and part of it goes to mining, right? You have to do everything with an ESG friendly footprint. And it's a straightforward run of mine oxide gold project. And we do the same kind of work as we're doing here as we do at our Strike oxide gold deposit in Southwest Utah. The mining pre-plan of operations is being submitted. Submissions is going to the state and federal agencies, because we have to deal with forestry, which are really easy to deal with, and Bureau of Land Management is also easy to deal with. But the forestry department has more people with a geological background. And then we will be looking to submit a mine plan of operation targeting a decision notice by 2027, which is a year earlier, and I think, than the market is anticipating. And so we're trying to speed up the process. Now we just got to figure out what the ultimate size will be. And there's your summary, and I thank you for your time and your attendance. And if you have any questions at all, please contact us at Liberty Gold. You can contact me by email or through Susie Bell, or you can ask for a phone call and talk to me directly. I'm an open book. Thank you so much.